Spring 2025 gave us a really solid lineup of shows, with the likes of Apothecary Diaries and Windbreaker showing up for Season 2, a My Hero Academia spinoff that was better than I could have ever imagined, and one of the most intriguing romance animes I've ever seen in the form of Kowloon generic romance. Not to mention, something for the cultured viewers out there. Spring 2025 gave us a full plate of shows for our week-to-week viewing experience. But it's not over. Summer 2025 is coming in hot like a fresh buffet plate of crab meat rangoons after I've already stuffed myself on spare ribs. With 5 movies and 59 shows on the horizon, we're eating good this summer. Now, I don't have time to watch or go over all of them, but the list of shows that have caught my eye is still longer than I could have ever anticipated. I have 28 shows for just me. I had to narrow it down to 11 though, just for the sake of time. These are the ones to watch. I'm not usually one for shoujo, but I'll watch just about any show Kadokawa throws my way. The list of top shelf anime coming out of this studio is so large, you could build a top 10 list out of it and find that most people would have very few disagreements. With shows like ReZero, Dungeon Meshi, Made in Abyss, and so many more, I'm betting Game Center Girl will be able to be added to their catalog with very little complaint. Game Center Girl sports a very light and charming art style that's a nice change of pace from most of the other shows available this season, and the story centers around a unique romance between an arcade employee and a foreign girl from England. After helping the girl by winning her a prize she had been struggling to get for hours, the employee tells her it's a Valentine's Day gift, which to her is a much bigger deal than he could have possibly realized. Next on the list is a slice of life anime from Studio L'Esprit, about a woman who crosses paths with a strange creature in a box by the side of the road, pleading to be taken in on a rainy day. After offering the woman an umbrella, she becomes intrigued by how clever it is, and takes it in. This show follows their new life together. For those unfamiliar with this next show, you have some research to do, but for the cultured masses, Studio Cloverworks is back with Season 2 of one of the sweetest and most visually appealing shows I've ever had the joy of laying my eyes on. And they're back to warm our hearts with Season 2 of My Dress Up Darling. This is one of the most anticipated shows of the season. Now I know I just said I don't usually like shoujo, so you have to trust me when I say that this isn't your typical shoujo. This show follows Wakana Gojo, a very shy and very dense loner who likes to paint and make dolls, and Marin Kitagawa, a bubbly extrovert who likes to do cosplay in her private time. After Marin discovers that Gojo can sew, she begs him to help her make outfits for her hobby. After spending most of their free time together, prepping outfits, and watching anime as source material, Marin finds herself in love with Gojo, and Gojo finds himself shy and uncomfortable, as always. Next up is an entry I'm quite curious about. It's the first ever show from Studio Clutch. Fresh into the industry comes Clutch, throwing beautiful art and an intriguing story our way. I'm excited to see what's in store for us. In this show, we follow the magical swordsman Kyle, as he finally kills the Demon Lord, only to find himself seriously injured as well. On the verge of death, Kyle makes his way to the relic that the Demon King was in possession of, only to find himself teleported to the past, where he vows to get stronger and avoid making the same mistakes again. Another powerhouse in the anime industry showed up this season, in the form of Studio IG and the Season 2 premiere of one of last year's hit shows, Kaiju No. 8. As we continue to follow Kafka Hibino, a 32-year-old man who had all but given up on his dreams of being a kaiju hunter in favor of cleaning up their remains. After an encounter with a rogue monster, Kafka finds himself gravely injured while attempting to save a young coworker. While the pair are recovering in the hospital, Kafka is attacked again by another beast, and as a result, he gained the ability to transform into a humanoid kaiju with the strength and powers of one of the massive beasts that he vows to use to help fight the ones wreaking havoc on the city. This is a very special time for high fantasy. Not since The Lord of the Rings have we had an actual high fantasy series that gives you a world where you can truly get lost in and characters you actually get attached to so strongly that you never want the experience to end. Then along came Freedom, and I fell in love with a series so completely that I genuinely can't put into words how much I loved every single little nuance of the series, from the characters to the world building, the fights and the magic. It was everything I could ever ask for and more. This incredible show has also paved the way for more high fantasy goodness that I'm so excited to see what's in store for us. The first such show is The Water Magician by Typhoon Graphics in Wonderland. We follow the main character, Rio, as he gets reincarnated into a world of Fee with his newfound water magic, as well as the gift of eternal youth, where he struggles to survive against the harsh wilds and dangerous creatures of the new world, all while learning how to use his new powers. The next show on our list of high fantasy goodness is a show from Studio Gokumi called Secrets of the Silent Witch, where we follow Monica Everett, a powerful mage with anxiety, who learned to cast spells without chanting to avoid speaking in public. She's hired by the wealthy Rydell family to protect their son as he goes through magic school. I really don't know what to expect from this show, but I always have high hopes for anything centered around magic and social anxieties. After releasing season 2 of one of the greatest detective shows I've ever seen, OLM is bringing us another show I'm pretty excited for this season. Welcome to the Outcast Restaurant. This fantasy cooking anime about an exiled member of one of the highest ranked guilds takes us with him as he uses his incredible cooking talent to open a restaurant that seems to bring in an eccentric clientele. But no matter what comes his way, it's nothing his butcher's knives and incredible cooking can't solve. We even have something for the horror enjoyers this season, and it looks quite promising. Based on the fan favorite light novel, The Summer Hikaru Died, about two best friends, Yoshiki and Hikaru, who grew up as the only two children their age in a small town. But Yoshiki notices a shift in Hikaru's demeanor one summer, and after confronting his friend about not being the real Hikaru, Yoshiki watches him shift into an otherworldly being that threatens to take Yoshiki's life if he can't accept the change. Shortly after, Yoshiki's village begins to experience strange occurrences that bring chaos to everyone. And after the chaotic failure of yet another Junji Ito adaptation, I find myself hopeful that Cygames Pictures can deliver the quality horror that we were all left wanting from Fugaku and Akatsuki. Are you sick of cooking anime? Yeah, me either. And this show by Studio Demerica is one of my personal favorites in the lineup. Ferment no Ryori is a story about a failed mathematician working in a school cafeteria struggling with a sense of aimlessness when he meets a brilliant chef who shows him that math and cooking actually overlap in a wondrous way. With a new love revealed in cooking, Gaku finds himself on a journey through the culinary world. This last one, I know everyone is excited for. Science Saru is back, and with them comes season 2 of one of the best shows I've ever seen. Den makes its glorious return, alongside a movie version of the first few episodes of the season. For those unfamiliar with the show, it's the full Monty of action, romance, comedy, horror, and goofy, silly bullshit rolled into a wonderfully animated and beautifully styled package. I'm not going to talk about the story because it's better left as a surprise, but a surprise that will leave you wanting more and more after every episode. And with 11 new shows on your watch list, your week-to-week viewing experience is sure to be full clear into autumn. And with that, I'm Cave Dweller Don. Get out of my house. I don't know you.